I usually get stuck as what they call like the forever DM, where it's like I would love
Oh,
to play a character in
mm-hmm.
stories, but I end up being the person that just runs the story because no one else wants to do it.
Yeah.
There's skills they've just sort of forgotten about, and the skills that they should just uncap, like mana shield should be allowed to go to rank 1, and there's lots of things they could do with that. Just seeing like all the different things that would pop up and the foamer scrolls and like people being, oh, I want to go be there when it
Oh.
spawns.
How long have you been playing Mabinogi for?
Since the very beginning, since
The
like the
very,
old
very
code was
beginning.
written, before
Oh.
certain servers existed, just a long time.
Gotcha. So like 2008? Were you a closed beta player?
I believe I was there in the closed beta too.
Wow. That's crazy.
Not under this name, under a different name. I used to play on Tarlach before I was on
Oh
Alexina as well.
my god, that was the server that I was on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. What was your character's name before Swiftling?
That is a hard question, actually, because I don't really
Oh.
remember what it was.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that's fine. How did
Because
you
I
come
went through
up?
like so many different aliases and stuff, like going from game
Oh.
to game and stuff, where it's like, like when you're younger, you make
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
burner
yeah.
emails and accounts and stuff. It gets
Yeah,
very
yeah.
confusing.
That's fair. How did you come up with the name Swiftling?
It's really simple and sort of dumb, actually. But the thing is I got tired of running as a human. So eventually I got around to making my elf for the first time. And I was like, what the hell do I name an elf? Because I'm not good at naming things. So
Aw.
I was like, well, elf is fast, so that's
Yeah.
Swift. And I was also playing off and on of other games at the time. One of those games and stuff happened to be like StarCraft.
Oh, okay.
So with StarCraft, I was like, oh, Zergling. Zerglings go fast, so I just combined Swift and Zergling and made Swiftling.
Oh, gotcha. It's a unique name, that's for sure. What is your most memorable moment on Mabinogi?
Most memorable moment.
I know, it's a tough one.
That's a difficult question for Mabinogi. That's most memorable moment.
It could be like a recent one, or it could be if you think about way back when.
I think that was way back in the day and stuff, before I became an elf, that I wanted to become an elf, because I saw a character at the time where he was playing a melee elf and doing really strong things with his melee elf, which is not an archetype you can really do nowadays anyway. But that was like the big inspiration point where I was like, I want to be an elf and I want to do cool things and go fast and speed.
Yeah.
So that's probably one of them for sure.
I wonder if, do you remember when you switched over to Alexina? Like kind of a rough, maybe
I
a
think
year.
right about when the server for Alexina got released.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I wonder if because there was an elf on Tarlach, however you want to say it, that did the same thing, and I was starting to wonder, like, I wonder if it was the same guy.
It might have been.
It could have been. I wonder, but I don't know. But it would have been funny.
Definitely could have been, that's for sure.
Do you have any names that you would like to shout out?
I think the obvious one, just shouting out. My girlfriend there, Zelda Rocks and stuff. She makes music. People should just raid her shop all the time, buy all the scrolls.
Absolutely.
It only takes her like multiple hours to restock. It's okay. Buy the scrolls. And then just other friends and stuff we got in the game and stuff like violins and Vincennes and recent friend that was made and stuff by the name of what's he go by again? So I just met him. Let me scroll down here. It is Hansri. People just call him Horse, and he's funny.
Oh, that's an interesting nickname, that's for sure. Hansri Horse. Hello to you. Welcome. Welcome to the friends list of Swiftling. So, do you have any other hobbies outside of Mabinogi? And is it D&D?
D&D is one of them. I play lots of other games and stuff as well, but like games in general, tabletop games. I used to like reading books a lot, but books are expensive.
Right.
I'm not a big fan of like reading off of a screen or a Kindle. So I like paperback books or hardback books, and that adds up really fast. And then you have to have places to put the books, and it gets difficult. So I sort of strayed away from books for a while.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, I
But
kind of.
Dungeons and Dragons is definitely a bigger one. I just haven't had a
Yeah.
chance to run a game in a while.
Is it like the usual? You can't find either a DM or like a good party.
I usually get stuck as what they call like the forever DM, where it's like I would love
Oh.
to play a character in
Mm-hmm.
stories, but I end up being the person that just runs the story because no one else wants to do it.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't. I mean, I don't feel that myself, but I get it because my boyfriend's the same way.
yeah, I get tossed into that role a lot, which I don't mind. It would be nice to play a character more often. It's like a lot of times where I did get a chance to play a character, it's like the game lasted like 2-3 sessions, then it was back to me being a DM again. It's like,
Oh
oh,
man,
okay.
and you probably have like a ton of like character ideas that you really want to get into too.
Oh, there's so many character ideas, and I just never get to like get there. It's like at the most they get to like level 2 or 3, and they're like, I don't really feel like running this campaign anymore. I was like, dang
Aw.
it.
Yeah, no, I got you. Man,
Well, I
that
understand
sucks,
because
though.
like DMing isn't the most fun thing to do, and a lot of times it can be stressful, like coming up with things on the fly.
But if you think about it, you make it fun for everybody else. So at least there's that.
Exactly, that's the important thing too. A lot of
Yeah.
DMs and stuff out there do the unfortunate circumstance of where they treat it like them versus the player, and it's like, no, you don't want to like kill your players or be like, oh, it's me versus them. It's like, no, just make a
No.
fun story.
Yeah, exactly. If they die, they die. But like,
And sometimes you gotta bend the rules a little bit, and sometimes you
Yeah.
pretend rolls didn't just crit them 3 times behind the DM screen because you don't want them to die, and
yeah, just make it fun.
yeah, you can make it close without just pummeling them into the ground. It's still a fun time.
Yeah, exactly. What do you wish could be different in Mabinogi? Any changes that you would love to see?
Oh, there's so many things. So many.
Oh, I know.
The big thing is like even just like what we talked about earlier, just like add more like backgrounds to things, like make it not just like fizzle off for a lot of things. Like so like background side things to homesteads, even just like more texturing to more things, which I'm really hoping they do on Unreal Engine because like if Mabinogi came out right now with a thing in their shop where they're like, hey, you can buy a floor texture and a wall side texture replacement for your homestead, I would instantly buy it. It would
Really?
just I'm tired of the wasteland. I'm tired of the flat grass texture. That's why I got all these little fairy gardens and stuff in front of my house because it adds that grass, that texture. So it's like
Right.
give me a way to do that naturally that doesn't tank people's frames
Give us
when they enter a
give us
homestead.
foliage. Give us foliage. Like not just like a single foliage that we have to place, but like a backdrop of foliage. Give
Well,
us
it's like one that just
foliage.
replaces the entire floor of the entire homestead and just gives it like you can even be a
Yeah.
repeating pattern. Just give it something.
Yeah,
And they could do that with like all the different types of homestead stuff. I think it'd be great.
Yeah.
It's like I know they're coming out with that island now. I'm hoping that fixes some of my complaints with homesteads, but then it's like all the other stuff too, where there's skills they've just sort of forgotten about, and the skills that they should just uncap, like mana shield should be allowed to go to rank 1, and there's lots of things they could do with that.
Yeah.
Make
Yeah,
demigod
that's-
more useful again, make beast form more useful again. I'm so happy they finally did the title stuff with beast form.
Yeah.
Because I've been asking for that since probably since like Gen 4 or 5.
You know, I actually thought that would make people start transforming again at the usual time. You know, the what was it?
Actually, that brings up my biggest complaint about transformation.
Oh, okay, yeah, go for it.
Just let me select which form I can be, please.
Oh, yeah.
I'm tired of like I don't like how the male sage looks. I just don't like it. Let me go back one step to Falcon Wave, the coolest form there is.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of those complaints, or like even just a switch between, let's say, for humans, Dark Knight versus Paladin. Just let them
Because like it
choose.
doesn't affect anything gameplay wise, other than like the player already knows it affects the things. Like just let them be the thing they want to be for flavor.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole point of the game too. Is you're supposed to have your fantasy life, so it's like, it'd be great. It would be a great idea, and I
would
think
be
they should
very nice.
eventually add that to the game as a change.
I hope so. It's like when they finally did the title change and the other stuff with like all the standards just being there. It's like it's happening, and then they stopped at that, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, exactly. What is your favorite combat content to do in Mabby?
Favorite combat content?
Yeah,
Sorry, running through a list in my head here.
no, you're good.
probably be probably just another thing that's a bit outdated now. So I used to like really love all the different field bosses and different spawns and stuff in the game.
Oh.
Just seeing like all the different things that would pop up and the foamer scrolls and like people being like, oh, I want to go be there when it spawns and stuff. It's like I really wish they'd do more with that system and like buff those up a little bit too. That's what always been one of my, because like it brings like a little bit more of like extra lore to the world. It's like, well, why are these goblin bandits spawning here? Why does the Black Knight spawn over here in these rocks? Like, it just makes you question things.
What are these giant wolves doing here?
Yeah, exactly. Like, why do these giant wolves show up all the time? It's like I wish I'd like do more with those and like delve into those and be like little side quests and stuff.
Yeah, I think that would be a cool little thing. I remember finally being able to defeat, I think like you said, it was the Black Knights? Or what are they called? I'm not even sure. But the giant tall Black Knights that are like near the logging camp.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool that I was able to defeat those the first time. It was like, yes, I did it. I'm doing something with myself.
Even if they did just something like minor with it, like a collection system where they drop little trinkets you can collect, and it makes like little pieces of unique gear where it's like I've killed this 20 times or something
that
small,
cool.
like doesn't actually give any stats or something, but just gives, especially like completionist players and stuff, something extra to do.
Yeah, maybe it would be like a little fashion thing, right? Or
exactly, and it's not a thing where they need to like raise billions of gold to do it. They can just spend some time.
We could also see, like, I wonder if they would put it in as a journal entry, like an achievement in your journal. That'd
be cool too, yeah, a journal achievement.
Even though, of course, that means that once you get the achievement, then you're just kind of done, but...
Or even better, they could add like a little collection log thing that even if they don't do a side quest, like after so many kills, it gives you like lore on like why they show up there or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that would be cool. I think so. Or like if there's like an NPC for that kind of stuff. Like if you have to kill this many of these, and then this NPC will tell you.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I'd like stuff like that.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna get a little more personal, if that's okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so do you have a favorite music genre? I know that's like, I said I'm gonna be personal, but that's like not the most personal thing, but just as a little start.
I'm trying to think of what the genre is called, to be honest. I listen to like pretty much everything except like country and rap, but I do definitely have like ones I lean into more.
Right.
And like I say that with country rap, but there's like occasionally like a song from those genres. Like yeah I'll listen to it because it's decent, but I just don't like the cookie cutter formula and stuff where it's like you could take all these songs, combine them together, and it just sounds like the same song.
Oh yeah. No, that's fair.
I think somebody did that with the top country hits one year on YouTube, and they strung them all together, and it just sounded like one continuous song. I'm like, this is the problem.
this is the problem. Oh gosh. I mean, if you don't have like a way of kind of naming the genre, that's totally fine too. But
I know I lean into like a lot more like instrumental stuff and like fantasy folklore kind of like sounding songs.
Okay. See that's a good answer still. That still says something about you. And like your tastes, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
And pretty much everything from Ghibli movies.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Especially along those lines too, yeah.
Yeah, they're all good. They're all bangers.
Yeah. What is a food that you would love for people to try if given the chance?
Man, that's a hard one. I don't try many food.
Ooh, are you like are you a picky eater?
I'm pretty picky. I have problems like differentiating and stuff and like going out into like different things. Like once I eventually try certain things I like it, but I've had so many like things that like even though I don't have an eating disorder or anything, my body just like hard rejects them. Like
okay.
If I can taste mustard or mayo by itself, I can't. It's coming back up.
Okay,
I can't.
okay. Yeah. No, what I am super happy that you're saying that. Well, not happy that you're like that or anything.
But same with like
I am the same. That's why I'm happy to hear it is cuz yeah. I get it.
Yeah, and like two of like the biggest smells that are just off-putting to me are like pickles and like if you're like boiling cabbage. Like those two smells, like my appetite is just it's gone. Nowhere to go. And I don't know where it is anymore.
So you're like a texture person then maybe too?
I definitely think there's a texture thing because like a lot of like fruits and things where it's like, yeah, this tastes okay and stuff. I just can't get past the chewy or other parts of things. Like, I like how oranges taste, but I can't eat the orange.
Oh, okay. See, I'm like that with bananas because I'm like, oh, they're really mushy, but I like them.
I get like that sometimes with bananas, but it depends, I think, on the ripeness. I think once they get towards the riper end and stuff and get a little bit smushier and stuff, it's like, I don't like it.
Yeah. No, that's fair. No, that's
but
that's
I think
really
if I had to
interesting,
like name a food that I want people to try and stuff, it's like being from Michigan originally stuff. There was a food that it's called like a pasty, and it's trying to think how to describe it. Let me look up a description here because I'm terrible at describing things.
though. Nah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, so it's like an outside like pastry and stuff that they fold over it and stuff, and they put like seasoned meat and vegetables and stuff on it, and like or in the inside, and like cook it all together. So the outside gets a little crispy and crunchy, but the inside's like nice, soft, and just all the flavors melt together.
Oh,
I think it was
like,
originally from
it,
overseas.
is it like if you were to have shepherd's pie but in a different form?
Sorta. I'll actually send you a picture real quick just to add context.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll put it up on screen for you guys too.
A lot of times
that-
you just eat them with like ketchup.
That looks good, honestly. I feel like I would like that. And like
There's,
I said,
like-
I'm like you, where I'm like a picky eater ish.
Yeah, it's like there's little old grandmas and stuff in Michigan, like areas and stuff where I was from, where it's like they've been making them for years and stuff, and like they'll make them every year, and they're bought out before they even make them,
Gotcha.
because they have like all these people wanting them in advance.
Wow, that's crazy. But that, I mean, I would see why. They look good, so.
They
And they
hold
sound
really
good.
well too, so like you can throw them in the fridge, and so like they reheat really well. They last a long time.
Oh, nice.
So they're just like a good food to have.
All right. Wait, what's it called again?
Pasty?
A pasty?
Yeah, like
Or just-
P-A-S-T-Y.
P-A-S-T-Y. Nice. All right, you guys go.
Some people
go
call
try
them
out,
like
but don't
pasties and stuff, but
try them out. But you gotta do them before they sell out.
there's places that sell them. I don't know what other states do them, but I know Michigan for sure.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go into the last question, and that is going to be, what advice would you like to give people, whether it be in real advice or in-game advice or both?
Probably a mix of both. So it's like, when it comes to like game advice, the biggest thing is like, don't get caught in the shiny new gear traps and stuff where it's like, oh, I have to have the best of the best. So you can just stick.
Hyperion. Okay.
Well, I recently upgraded, but it's like I've had the same gear, so it's like I had my original gear, which isn't saying much for Elf, because Elf, you couldn't really upgrade anything for a long, long time, because you either wore Bohemian or you wore something tanky like Colossus armor, and that's the only options you had. Eventually, after having like the same armor for like 7+ years, Special Force Ranger came out. I upgraded to that, sat on that for a very long time. And it's like
I'm
now
on that
I'm
right
just now finally switching to probably a mix of Hyperion and the Glenbjarna stuff. But it's like
Ooh, a mix.
I'll do that slowly, because I got a lot of things I gotta sell, and that's like another thing too. With like the brand new gear thing and stuff, it's like people buy things and then they sell them so cheap afterwards. It's like, sit on things, wait for prices to stabilize. Don't buy something at 600 mil so you can sell it 100 mil later. It's not worth it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, honestly.
It's like let people do testing on things. It's like I think one of the biggest offenders was like the Imperial Night boots, where like everybody thought they were garbage, and then like people decided they were better later, and the price spiked, but people had already sold them for like 10 mil each. It's like, just wait, just be patient.
Yeah, eventually they'll get back to a price that you can, better afford. Or I guess not better afford, but it would be more viable. I don't know if that's the right word, but better for your funding.
Yeah, it's like the only thing I'd ever say ever jump on is like the ones where they're extremely limited, that they love to just like, here it is for a month and you're never gonna see it again for 3 years, like the enchantment coupons and stuff.
Yeah,
it's like if you're gonna jump on anything, it's those.
Yeah.
But gear, it's like you can just sit on it. Just sit on the gear, save up your gold. The power creep always happens. They always come out with something better. It's like I see people all the time where they buy something super expensive and then it's invalid a week later. It's like just sit on it. But then when it comes to like real advice and stuff there for real life,
stock market. No. Okay.
I think it's gonna sound like sad out loud, but like don't ever feel like you're entitled to fairness in a video game from strangers you've never met.
Ooh, okay, that's a blunt, harsh one, but
because
fair.
I've had issues with that over the years and stuff. For like, I thought people were friends or stuff, or like like they promise a deal or this or that, or like they said, oh, they sell it to you for. It's like it's not worth getting hung over those. I got hung up over those growing up and stuff, and I blew up on some people and said some really stupid things. It's like it's not worth it. It's like they're not entitled to sell that thing to you if they decided they wanted the better deal and that 40 mil gold is worth it to them. It's like they're gonna do that. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I feel like that happened a lot more when everybody was younger in this game too, but everybody's kind of
very much so.
I'm sure there's still people who do that, but
and then we had that crazy period of time where nothing mattered and stuff when like all the hacks were going rampant and gold was getting duped to the millions, and you could sell random dies for 90 mil and then it would get rolled back the day after.
Yeah, 100%. Oh my gosh,
those were
remember
crazy
rollbacks?
times. I hated, what was it, like a 72-hour maintenance or whatever it was the one time?
Oh man, yeah,
that was
something
miserable.
Like that. Whole weekends where people couldn't play. It's crazy.
Yeah, crazy times.
But yeah, good advice though. For both, like for in-game and in real. Both good advice. So yeah, thank you for doing this with me. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad that I've gotten to talk to both you and Zelda at this point.
Yeah.
So, I will see everybody another day in Erinn. Goodbye.
Goodbye.